Guess what? Clemson, of course, won the ACC championship. The fact that I even came into this game with the slimmest bit of hope that Notre Dame had a chance and that I was going to end this game feeling happy. Like, my shirt says it all. Like, if I look upset, it's because Carolina lost last Saturday. If you didn't notice, I'm a massive Gamecocks fan, and this is basically a Carolina Gamecocks loss because I don't want to see Clemson win. Who wants to see Clemson win? And the fact that in the first quarter, after Notre Dame starts out with a field goal, and then they get the interception, and they're so close to taking a 10-0 lead. From there, everything just... I have no clue what happened. Notre Dame wasn't able to run the ball. Their defense was just letting Clemson run all over them. There's still 4 minutes and 27 seconds left in this game. 34-10 right now, but guys, like... they've taken out Trevor Lawrence. They're about to punt the ball to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame's about to get the ball back so they can go score. Maybe they're fighting for their playoff hopes right now, Notre Dame, to go score another one, because I don't know where Notre Dame stands in this whole playoff race now. This just all got very interesting. And of course, Clemson. No, they don't get the punt. Texas A&M, I am telling you, this team is making a real late push for me into getting into that fourth playoff spot right now. I'd maybe even put Texas A&M over Ohio State after watching Ohio State have the shaky game that they did today, and a terrible game by Justin Fields, in a game where Sermon absolutely led the Buckeyes to that win. He rushed for 331 yards in total or something like that. There was no really outstanding win by Ohio State today. Not an outstanding win by Notre Dame, who was the higher ranked team in this game. I know Clemson was favored and they were most likely going to win, but Notre Dame, I had them. I said Notre Dame is basically guaranteed in the playoffs as long as they don't go into Charlotte and get the absolute brakes beaten off of them by Clemson. And after watching this game, it kind of felt that way. It kind of feels like that way right now, where it was just an absolute depleted win. Ever since Clemson got going in that first quarter, the game was just taken out of hands. Like, it was not even close any point of the game since that first quarter, since Notre Dame had the lead. It's just, let's take a look at some of the stats. So, of course, Trevor Lawrence, 25 for 36, 322 yards, 8.9 average, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Ian Book went 16 for 22, 176. No touchdowns, no interceptions. The big factor in this game, when I read the stats out to you guys, these aren't the official end of game stats yet because the game is still going on and Notre Dame could still get some more stats. They just completed a long pass. 217 rushing yards for Clemson and 60 rushing yards for Notre Dame. That right there tells you the game. Notre Dame was not able to get anything on the ground going with Kyron Williams. No chance. Clemson was putting so much pressure on Ian Book in the backfield and everything. They were getting the run game stopped. They were getting pressure on them. They were getting contact behind the line of scrimmage. It was just such a pretty bad game for a Notre Dame offensive line that is usually known as one of the better offensive lines in college football. Notre Dame is usually known for their offensive line. Then again, the play that I just watched, Ian Book gets pressure on him. There are guys constantly in his face, and there's nothing Notre Dame could do about it because Clemson, the guys were just all the time getting pressure on him. That was one of the biggest factors. The Clemson defensive line this game was amazing, even though I hate to say it. I hate talking good about Clemson, but it's just the truth. Like, they were so good today, and the fact that I went out to my prediction yesterday and I said Clemson will win this game. If I had to bet my life on it right now, I would bet on Clemson to win this game. And what do you know? Clemson does win the game, but I still had a glimmer of hope that Notre Dame would come in and win this game, maybe a Christmas miracle or something, and I did not get that, and I am upset. I'm very, very upset at the results of this game. Like, I didn't even think, what was the turnover battle in this game? Clemson had one turnover. Notre Dame didn't turn over the ball once. Notre Dame's secondary really just laid off at the end of the game. There was not some good coverage, a lot of wide open throws for Trevor Lawrence down the field. Travis Etienne had a really, really good game for Clemson. What else? Penalties. Clemson led the game in penalties. They had 5 penalties for 60 yards, and Notre Dame only had 2 for 25. So it wasn't really that Notre Dame beat themselves. It was just sloppy play at the end and just not able to compete talent for talent wise with Clemson. Clemson overall out-talented Notre Dame, no question about it. Notre Dame wasn't able to execute on that fourth down late in the first quarter in the second drive of the game. I'm pretty sure that could have got them in range to they also missed a field goal, so they could have had 17 points in that first quarter alone, or however many, 13, 17, it's all the same. And they only have 10 in this game. There was just so many missed opportunities for Notre Dame. Their kicker was not on today at all. That was terrible. It was just a bunch of third down miss. Let's look. What was the third down conversions in this game? Third down efficiency, Clemson was 8 for 14, and Notre Dame, there we go, 2 for 10. Right there. I said it. Notre Dame was not good at converting third downs, and the stats show it. 2 for 10. You put that at a 20% third down conversion rate. Easy. That's so easy. You're never going to beat Clemson if you're only able to convert third downs 20% of the time. Clemson was 8 for 14. Notre Dame was able to get some down stops on them. They were able to do it, but they just didn't do it enough, and especially when your offense isn't going to get you any help and go 2 for 10 on third down and just keep giving them back the ball is just not good at all. The passing game, Clemson did lead 322 yards to 209 yards. Total yards, Clemson led 539 to 269, and Ian Book just fumbled the ball, and the ball play got called dead. There's still 2 minutes left in this game. This game's over. The Clemson Tigers are going back to the college football playoff and another ACC championship. When will this end? As a Gamecock fan, when will the Clemson dominance end? In a year where it seemed like a team, finally some competition goes into the ACC. Finally, it looks like someone can beat Clemson. They beat Clemson earlier in the season. And then it comes to this ACC championship game. And of course, Clemson starts playing like Clemson and takes the title again. Is going to make the playoff, probably going to be playing Ohio State. Yeah, 3rd and 16. Probably going to be playing Ohio State. Notre Dame, I really like Texas A&M. I'm going to say that right now. I really like where Texas A&M is at. I really like their resume. Their only losses to the number 1 team in the country, and that was a team with Jalen Waddle, who they do not have now, who is also one of the best players in college football, on top of Mac Jones, on top of Devontae Smith, on top of Mac Jones, Najee Harris, all of those guys. You just add another one of the best players in college football when you have Jalen Waddle out on the field. Texas A&M's resume is really, really good. I don't know where Ohio State stands after their weak performance today and not playing a full schedule. That may hurt them. Cincinnati has a chance. Depends on what they do against Tulsa today. You could see the Bearcats in the playoff. I think it's very unlikely. Oklahoma, there's a chance. They're really hot right now. But again, 2 losses. I don't think it's happening. But Notre Dame may have to go onto playoff watch. They may have to be concerned about what's to happen in the selection show tomorrow, because it could be interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to do my post-championship weekend playoff prediction after the Alabama-Florida game, after I do my reaction to that game. So it should be a good one. Lots of football left to be played tonight. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys. As always, go Gamecocks. Even if you're a Clemson fan, go Gamecocks. As always, Spurs up, whatever. Go Cox, as always. Just remember that we're coming. Shane Beamer is coming in the next coming years. Thank you for watching. Like down below. Comment anything about college football. And come back next time.